Okay, this video is for somebody that wanted to know something real quick. Of course, they just want me to say it, I guess. It's okay, because I got 7369, add up the numbers, and that's what it is, all right? Well, it's called the Dark Ages, all right? The Dark Ages mean black rulers. And the reason why the scholars call it the Dark Ages is because they weren't in nobility or they didn't have no rulership at that time. That's why it's called the Dark Ages, because they don't know. They know they don't want to tell you. They're telling you it's called the Dark Ages, which means, think about it. If they didn't know what happened at that age, the time of that period, then you know that they didn't have rulership. So who was in rulership before at the time of the Dark Ages? Black people. The video games and the game chess. We created that game chess. Uh, when we created that game chess, the chess game was dealing with lands, and it was dealing with rulership. And like, if you played us and you lost, then we would take your whole kingdom, and it was through the game of chess, dealing with the pawns and bishops, and that was instead of us going to war with each other, we would play that game. That's where the game chess came from. In the Dark Ages, the squares represent the dark to the light, which mean black and white power as far as going against each other for the rulership, because Caucasian people was there at that time, but they didn't have nobility. So they had their little armies or whatever. They was trying to take down certain groups of black people in nobility and smear their name, and they used black people at that time to take down black people at a certain amount of time. So only thing I'm saying is that you have to just know what they're telling you, and you ask yourself why you don't know this history. Because 300 BC, that's when Alexander the Greek, that's when he came into power, right? And he had 5 generals up under him. And when he died, they spread it out, and they conquered, Japhetic people. They conquered the Shemitic people, and they conquered the Hamitic people. You know what I mean? Which was prophesied in there, Genesis 27:38, which mean they was gonna rule by the sword through war, and all nations was gonna bow down to him. And that was his blessing, and he received his blessing. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, way before they even knew about it. It was prophesied in the book of Genesis, which is the beginnings. Alright, so that's what it is. The Dark Ages is when black people ruled. And like I said in my other video, Europa was a black woman. The majority of the names you see over there are black people, the black families of nobility. So, you got to really, really, pay homage and pay respect and thank black people for having those empires over there, because you wouldn't have nothing. The castles and everything over there, the old castles, those castles right there were built by us. Now, like I said, the chess game, it was really like certain secret societies, because certain code words they use. I'm not a Mason, but I know their secrets. Traveling from dark straight to the light is what you want to tell a police officer. Tell them that you're an aged person. I'm of age. I'm traveling straight. I'm coming from the dark straight to the light. You know what I mean? And they understand that talk, and they let your ass go. So like, it's really secrets and subliminal talk within the same manner of that, because black people had secret societies, and like, we had our secret hand gestures, the way we talk to each other. Like, it ain't gang banging, but it was more like we had hand language, and that's where the hand languages came from. It came from black people, and that's what Masons use today for their hand signals. The diamonds, and certain diamonds and everything represent certain nobility. Certain ones, the diamond down. When you do your diamond down, that means you just got initiated when you do it When you do it from the middle, that means like you're 32, and you do it up, which means you're 33, which is God body. So you have to know these type of things. Subliminal talk. I know it already. I already know it is nothing. So I'll let you know, Dark Ages mean black rulers, and that's just what it is. So anything pertaining to the Dark Ages, King Arthur, Beethoven, Nostradamus. Nostradamus was a Mexican. They're not going to tell you he was a Mexican. Okay, because other people didn't know prophecy. It wasn't in their spirit. They were in caves. They were like Flintstone kind of people. They didn't know nothing about no prophecy. They didn't know nothing about no Thoda. They didn't know nothing about none of that. They didn't know nothing. All they did was follow the people that taught them culture. Black people taught everybody culture, gave them culture, and taught them culture. Civilizations were built, and and when you're dealing with Buddha, it's a guy named Boozy or something like that, and written in the book of Ezekiel, right? He migrated to China, and that's who they uplift as their god, and they call him Buddha. They just switched it up a little bit, but his name was Boozy or something like that, written in the book of Ezekiel, and he migrated to China, and he had built temples in China, and he was like a low key like priest, and he did his thing out there in China, and people looked up to him, like as far as the way he was like separate, the way he did things was so special to the eye of other people. They wanted to follow him, and they followed his tradition and his ways, and they admired him, so they upheld him as a god. That's why you got the Buddha with the cornrows. Who wore cornrows? Black people. So black people, and then the Indians, they worship Krishna, and which is Christ, which is the person they follow was like Christ-like. He did things like what Christ did. They really worship black people. The Pope, sit next to a big statue, a black statue, which is Saint Peter. He kissed the feet of Saint Peter. Saint Peter was a black man. So it's like y'all sickly worship black people, and then you see the entertainment and everything. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. We don't need no more basketball players, football players, and all that shit. We don't need no more of that no more. That's done. We need more scientists. We need more herbalists. We need more people dealing with numbers. People dealing with the science of the earth, dealing with material. Learning material, learning how to create technology. I mean, if anything, that everybody have on this planet Earth, if you go to YouTube, type in Black Inventions, A through Z, to give you a breakdown of everything that we invented. We invented the internet, we invented the trolling, we invented all the video games. If it wasn't for black people, you wouldn't have none of this stuff. The light, everything that you have. If you went one day without black inventions, you would be butt naked. The clothing, my forefathers had to pick cotton for you to wear nice suits and everything, right? So like if it wasn't for black people, if you gave up black inventions for one day, you would be butt naked. You shouldn't have nothing on. Alright, so just want to let you know that. I'm letting all people know, and even black people that don't know, is that if it wasn't for you and our forefathers, people would be butt naked running around here if they just gave up black inventions. So don't ever say niggas is lazy. Can't never say that. Alright, and niggas come from the Swahili word nagas, which mean kings, because we are the fucking kings of the earth. Translated to Latin, niger, which mean black. And nigga, anybody could be a nigga, which mean not to know. Ignorant, which mean not to know. Right? And that's it. So learn the etymology of words too, and be on your shit. Alright, Shalom. All praise to the Most High, all day, every day.